I'm Sharon-Barnes Waters, and welcome to CityViews, the show about people, places, and things that make New York great. Well, the Hip Hop Film Festival debuted last year to much acclaim. It's back this year for the second year. It's running August the 3rd through the 6th. And guess what? We have a little special CityViews today because they have chosen CityViews and 1010 WINS as the place that they're going to announce the best of the festival coming up soon. I know that a lot of people are sitting at home, they're wringing their fingers, they're anxious, they're grabbing the cat, they're grabbing the pillow, they're on the floor, they're holding their breath. You're going to have to wait for a little longer because close in a few minutes we're going to be giving those nominations, so you've got to watch every second of this show. Now, 1010 WINS is very happy to be the media partner this year of the festival, and with us is C.R. Capers, the founder and CEO of the Hip Hop Film Festival. Welcome, C.R.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for choosing WINS as the place that's going to be doing this nomination. This is really exciting stuff for us. So
yes, well,
we thank you. We thank you for
when
that.
you talk about hip hop in New York City, you can't get more than New York than 1010 WINS.
Well, thank you. And we can't get more hip hop than New York.
That's right.
So tell me, when you decided to have this hip hop festival last year, was it deliberate that you wanted it to be right here? Did it have something to do with the history of hip hop?
Of course. This is where the culture started.
Yes.
This is where everything emanated from the Bronx to Harlem to Brooklyn to Queens, all 5 boroughs. So when we talk about the Mecca and having a pilgrimage, when you're talking about hip hop culture, you got to do it in New York, baby. There's no place else like it.
Right. And I want to ask you, because is there a misconception of what hip hop is? What is hip hop and what is it not?
Okay. So I liken it to when people, how we use, they say we use just a portion of our brain. So when it comes to hip hop, people only see a small portion of what they believe it to be. So it's actually a culture, and it is a robust and full culture that incorporates music, art, DJing, b-boying, fashion, food. I mean, everything that a culture is comprised of.
It's been around for a
while.
while.
That's right. So you're talking about what, 67?
And it's grown, and through the decades, it's changed.
That's right. And there's 5 elements to it that represent the culture. And the 5th element, which is my favorite, represents the knowledge.
Okay, give us all of them then. You're saying 5. Give me all of them, girl.
Well, if you look at my jacket, I don't know if you guys can see it, but on my jacket, we lay out the 5 elements of hip hop, which is breaking, DJing, MCing, b-boying, graffiti, and the knowledge.
Graffiti.
Graffiti and the knowledge. Yes.
Okay. All right. So last year you debuted in New York. Was it, you grew up with hip hop, was it something that drew you to have this festival? Why did you want to have a hip hop festival as opposed to any other genre?
Well, first of all, it was to re-educate and let people have a revolution of the mind when it comes to hip hop. Usually when you say hip hop, there's a negative connotation. And I wanted to change that narrative. And we wanted to start with people that actually tell narratives and give narratives. So it's about letting people understand that there's a whole nation of people who grew up in hip-hop, who are filmmakers, who are storytellers, and it's time to focus on them and give them a platform and support and the opportunity to tell stories, change narratives. We're more than just, you know, shoot-'em-up movies or things of that nature. We're science fiction, we're love, we're mystery, we're, you know, we're all of these things because we are human beings. And because our stories tell that.
And because I've spoken to you over the last couple of months, I know you're very deliberate in what you want to portray and what you want to put out there.
Yes.
You're very deliberate.
Very deliberate. It has to be something that has a message and a story. We tell our filmmakers that we judge the films that are selected to participate on 4 main criteria, because filmmaking is definitely at the core.
Okay.
That's sound, because we need to be able to hear what's going on. Cinematography, the story, actors, and costuming. These are the basics of a film. So if you get those, that's right. But one of the most important elements, I feel, is the story, is the content. Has the story been told before? If it has been told before, where's the human element? Is there a message? Is it something that, are you telling it in a different way? These are very important, especially when you're using a medium like film to convey a message. It's the medium that people learn about each other across the world. So it's very important, the images and the stories that are told.
And you said across the world because you want the right images to be portrayed across the, yes, definitely in the United States, but we
Yes.
want the right images to be portrayed
That's right.
overseas. Because people will grab a concept of a culture.
That's right.
By a movie, by a film, by a video.
That's right.
A concept or a misconcept. So
got
that's
it.
why I'm saying you're very deliberate.
Right.
And that's why I wanted you to really explain what it was and what it is not.
Exactly.
Very. So last year, again, you debuted, and you got a nomination and an award given was presented to you by a big-time director. Can you tell us about that?
Well, okay, so
In your first year.
in our first year, we brought in filmmakers from all over the world. I have to tell you this before I tell you about that.
Okay.
So the festival, we thought it was going to be like 50 friends in a room. When we put it out there, we ended up with people coming in from every continent. I mean, we brought in people from Denmark, Ireland, Japan, South Africa, Kenya, you name the country, they came. And we made a big splash because who knew that hip hop had so many tentacles? We knew, but the larger populace didn't know. So there is a group of people that own festivals, some of the biggest festivals in the world, and there's a conference that they all come to. We're talking about the Tribecas, the Sundances, the Panoramas, the biggest festivals in the world, and they vote on who has the best festival of the year. And it's run by a company called Fest Forums. Shout out to Fest Forums. They picked us. We were one of the nominees, and we won Best Festival in the United States, and the award was presented by Quentin Tarantino himself.
Wow. What did that mean for you to get an award in your first year?
It was surreal because we do what we do for the love. We don't do it for the money. We share, our goal is to share our profits with the filmmakers who participate in the festival because notoriety or getting a deal is great, but for the millions of filmmakers and storytellers out there, what they really need is funding to create more narratives. So that's the main focus. So we weren't expecting any awards. We really weren't expected to, I wasn't expecting it to do much in that type of world. Right. We were just doing it for the love of the culture and the love of our narrative, and to make sure that it was preserved in the correct way so it doesn't get whitewashed or retold in a way that doesn't represent us. And film is the most powerful medium for that. So that was very
congratulations.
important.
So the second year, so now we're in the second year, August the 3rd through the 6th. Can you tell us about what you're going to be doing this year?
Well, this year, honey, this year, bigger, badder, deafer. You know, we hip hop. So, you know, we got to bring the flavor.
Got to bring it.
We got to bring the flavor. So, first off, we had to contact a friend of mine, Christopher Martin. You guys know him as Play from Kid and Play. He's making his directorial debut with a film called And I Dance. And this is huge because it is his film that he has done over the entire course of his life. It's something that he feels so passionate about, where he looks at dance and how it evolved and how his group, Salt and Pepper, Flex, I mean, all of these huge, big names are in this film, and we are honored that he picked us to debut it with. So if you guys go to the website, you'll find more information about it tomorrow. It's hiphopfilmfestival.org. You'll be able, there are special tickets for that, but he's closing the festival. Opening the festival, we brought in renowned French director Olivier Babinet, who is a César nominee, which is the French equivalent of the Oscars.
Wow.
And he's also a Cannes nominee. And he has this amazing project called Swagger. And it's a look at French youth who live in their version of the projects. Now, we got the projects here. If you hip hop, you know about the projects. We talk about grant, housing, the polo grounds, you know, all of that. But they also have that in France. And it's the same thing. So what he did was he took the stories of these teenagers and he told it, and he made their fantasies come to life. So it's a blend of urban storytelling, science fiction. It's beautiful, beautiful film. And I can't wait, and that is opening the festival.
And tell us again where they can find out more information about everything that's going on.
Everything that's going on, from the Master Ciphers to the 3,000 square foot virtual technology lounge that we are doing called the Tech Exhibit. It can be found at hiphopfilmfestival.org.
Okay.
Are we ready?
The suspense is coming to a close. Yes. I feel like I want to do this.
Right.
Okay, the moment that so many people have been waiting for, watching anxiously to know if their name is going to be called.
Yes.
Okay, CR, Are we ready?
We are ready.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Are we ready?
Are y'all ready?
All right.
Filmmakers, get ready.
All right, so we are ready
All right.
to announce the
We are ready.
nominees for the Best of the Festival.
Okay, so here we go. Best of the Festival nominees. We're going to start with Best Web Series.
All right.
And the nominees are The Ave, Tough Love, Working Out the Kinks, and Tattoo Life. Congratulations to all the web creators in the category.
So what criteria did you use in selecting the best web series?
The criteria, well, this year, the web series is part of an incubation of one of our filmmakers. It's called the Urban Web Summit. So what we did is they have the same criteria, the 4 basics of filmmaking.
Okay.
And we look to see which web series are really changing the game, which web series are fun, exciting, and gives us a different glimpse of life that are out of the ordinary. We don't want the same thing all
right.
the time.
Right.
So these web series represent the best of the best.
All right, well, congratulations to the nominees. And we're going to be doing 2 more categories, CR.
Yes.
And they are...
First, starting with Best Actress. Best Actress nominees are Eden Duncan Smith for See You Yesterday, Katie Gorik in Brooklyn, Kawana Marie for Trending, and Berkeley Claiborne for Across the Tracks. In the Best Actor nomination category, we have a dual nomination for the first one, Lex Damian and Milan Stosal for Tom Freeman of the North, Stephen Hill, Tales from Shaolin, Michael Chan, Cavities, and Artie Brennan, A to Z.
And what do you look for in an actor or actress for this category? What are you looking?
Believability. One of the hardest things to do when you are an independent filmmaker, especially if you have a low budget, is find quality actors.
Okay.
And an actor can make or break a film immediately.
Right.
So when we look at our films, we need to believe the story. We need to be invested in those characters. So everybody in these categories, they made us feel something. They made our judges feel something. We cared about them. They made us laugh. They made us cry, and it was touching.
So you're not up there saying, "Oh, please."
Right. Right.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Exactly.
If you have a Jamaican accent, you have a Jamaican accent. If you have a Spanish accent, you have to be real and authentic.
Please don't
as
be
authentic as you can be if you're acting.
Exactly.
Do your research.
Yes. Please do not be a slave with a flat top. That's all we ask.
Okay, and the next category.
Next category is an important one. We're starting Best Director. Jasmine Khalees for the Chicago Mixtape. Saizman Tomlik, Pre-Passed. Stephen Bristol, See You Yesterday, and Patrick House, Night Job.
How does one judge for a best director? That always got me like, is he a director? Is it the totality of the film? Is it, how does one judge for the best director?
Well, for us, it's about, the director is the orchestrator of the piece. So he has to make sure everything comes together seamlessly. So when you're looking at a film, whether it's a documentary or a short or whatever it is, you can look and see like, wow, that took a lot to do that. You're dealing with these different elements. You have a huge cast, you have this. Is the cinematography on point? Is your lighting right? They have complete autonomous control over everything, and it is their vision that makes the final project. So if you can impress us in that category, you get this nomination.
That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one. And the next 2 categories. Ready, CR?
Then I am ready. Next up, we have Best Cinematography. Eternal, Voices de la Calle, Brooklyn, and Across the Tracks. For Best Documentary, we have The Chicago Mixtape, We Are the Nation, The Legendary Ciphers, and Jamaica House.
And looking at the list of the best documentary, are they very different from each other? They're vastly different?
Vastly different. The Chicago Mixtape is coming out of Chicago, and it is a sweeping documentary about the youth in Chicago and how hip-hop and verbal expression is used to inspire hope and creativity. We Are the Nation is from Africa, and it is a polarizing piece about how hip-hop is used in politics. And that's, I'm not going to give away that story, but it is an amazing story. Legendary Ciphers is actually a virtual reality site.
Oh,
it's virtual reality.
Very cool.
Very cool. But it actually puts you in the middle of 14th Street, in the middle of a cipher by none other than the Legendary Cipher. So they're actually premiering this with us, and it is an amazing piece. You really feel like
you're
you
there.
are right there.
there.
Oh my God, it's an amazing experience. And then Jamaica House is a sweeping documentary that spans over 20 years from the beginning of hip-hop. And it tells about the rise and fall of this amazing institution in California. So,
you know, when I hear Jamaica House, I'm thinking,
right,
it's either Queens or the island.
right. But it's actually in LA, and everybody that's anybody in hip-hop performed on that stage, and it was done by 3 guys who just pulled themselves up by the bootstraps, hustling, and was like, listen, we want to do it for the love of the culture. And they made the biggest club. It was like our version of Studio 54, but for hip-hop. Yeah.
Wow.
It's huge.
And we have another category.
Yes.
Let's go.
Best Narrative Feature. Float, Tom Freeman of the North, Cavities, and Brooklyn.
And we want to say congratulations to all the nominees in that category.
Definitely.
Okay, so I feel like I want to do that.
Every time, right.
Because now,
this is the
up
biggest
next
one.
is the big category, the big one. Okay, folks, this is the big one.
The biggest one.
Okay, take a deep breath. And she's going to announce
the best of the festival. The nominees are We Are the Nation, Tales from Shaolin, Jamaica House, and See You Yesterday.
Wow, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I hope you heard your name called.
To all the nominees.
To all the nominees. What will winning this big one mean for everyone involved in these films, or whoever you announced?
Well, I can tell you this much happened last year. The majority of our filmmakers that won their categories either were offered distribution deals or turned down distribution deals, or went on to do independent deals where they just took their money and their movie themselves and toured it around the United States and internationally. So, I mean, just like at any major festival, if you're nominated for something and you win, it gets more attention. But in this forum, that filmmaker gets to really decide how they want to proceed. They get the option to say yes or no. There's no pressure. You know, they can keep their money, they can share it, they can do whatever they want to do. And that's the beauty of it, and that's the beauty of hip-hop. We've always been like that. You know, we make our own decision, we forge our own way. And these filmmakers are doing just that.
Wow. And I have it on good authority from you, CR,
that the right names will be called.
Yes.
We won't have any incidents. We won't have any mix-up. We won't have any oops.
Harvey will not be there, and neither will Warren Beatty.
So everything will go smoothly on that night.
Yes.
And we're all anticipating. So when are the nominees going to be announced? When, where, what day of the festival?
So the last day of the festival will be the Hip Hop Film Festival Award Ceremony. So, and that will be available. You get your pass, it's included. And that will be happening the very last day of the festival, August 6th.
So everybody's going to be anticipating, waiting. Now that you know your name is called, you're anxiously waiting for that day. So tell me, which category received the most entry this year?
Wow. Well, all of them did. We have, I mean, all of the films are so good. Now, these categories that we announced today, I want everybody to know, this is not it. We have a lot more. These are the major categories. We have a lot more categories, such as Best Concept, Best Audience Choice Awards, and things of that nature. So this is not, you know,
the total.
But yes, it's, you know, I'm sorry, what was the question?
It was which category did you get the most entry, and which one gave you the most headache for the ones that to narrow down and say, okay, because they were all so good.
I would say Best of the Festival, because Best of the Festival is something that you want to get it right. And the message has to be there, the foundations of filmmaking have to be there, but it also has to have something just a little bit more. And honestly, all the submissions that we have and all the nominees, they all have a little bit more. So it was painstakingly hard. It was a lot of arguments, it was a lot of shouting, it was a lot of chairs thrown across the room and tears. to narrow it down to 4. And normally it would be 3, but we had to put it to 4.
All right, right. For anybody that wants to enter next year, what's the procedure? Do they start now? How do they go about entering your festival?
To enter the festival, you just go to hiphopfilmfestival.org and you click on Submit at the top.
And that's where you'll get all the information about this year's festival,
Right.
August the 3rd through the 6th. You say 4 days, 60 films,
Right.
25 events, thousands
Right.
of people.
Yes.
You know, and 1010 WINS is a media partner.
Media partner.
So we're glad to be a media partner
Yes.
this year. So if you want to know more about the Hip Hop Film Festival, I think it's going to be the bomb.
Of course it
And
is.
CR choosing
it
New
is.
York, the birthplace of hip hop, to hold this festival. And again, it's to much acclaim. You've got to be there August the 3rd through the 6th. And we're partners with you this year. We're expecting great things.
Yes.
So everybody come out to the Hip Hop Film Festival. I'm sure there's something there for everyone. CR, thanks for being a part of the show today. And I know we're going to experience great things at that 4-day festival. Take care. Thank you.
We rock, we don't stop.
All right.
All right.